So people, we have to talk about WrestleMania night 1 and night 2. I'm not going to do a match breakdown. I'm just going to point out some things that I feel about WrestleMania and also last night's Monday Night Raw. And I knew a lot of people would just be, same night, very next day. Okay, no problem. They wanted to get their content out, but I just want to be honest. That's all I want to do is be honest. Okay. Night 1, there was no matches on the card that I actually liked. Like, the matches just were so flat. There were no matches that I felt were good matches. I'm sitting there watching, and my son said to me, "Pop, I don't really like wrestling. I like AEW," he said, and I look at the old stuff. He said, "But tell me wrestling was better than this back in the day. Like, because the stuff that I see is like, and I just broke down to him how up until WCW and like NWA weekly program at 605 and you had before Raw and Nitro and stuff like that, how it was different. You still had your episodes and one show had matches that led to the other and stuff like that, and then the build up to WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and all that kind of stuff. All right, so anyways, I'm just sitting there, he's sitting there. And to the point where my son was doing stuff on his phone, and he's just like, "Man, this is so boring." And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, okay, and we're watching it. Okay, let me start with the main event of night 1 and just say this. We called the heel turn before it even happened. He owed CM Punk a favor, right? All this. I don't see what the point is. Like, what is he supposed to even point us on how to beat Roman Reigns? It was just a stupid concept. He's just going to walk down the ring with Punk. I mean, they went from saying Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are best friends. His kids, their kids hang out. Their kids know each other. Their family, blah, blah, blah. All right, whatever. These storylines are just so, childlike. So, anyways, we called the heel turn. In fact, I'm going to show you how sloppy the work was. When Paul Heyman had the chair, right? He already made the decision to walk to the ring and be in Punk's corner. He could have given Punk the chair right off the bat. The fact that he had to pick and choose who. You understand what I'm saying? You're stabbing Punk in the back if you give Roman a chair. You stab Roman in the back by walking down to the ring with Punk in the first place. He could have told him, "Look, man, something else. This is not that favor. I won't do this." Right? There's certain things that Heyman wouldn't do, right? That he've expressed in the past. So why now? Right? Okay. So he's deciding who he wants to give the chair to. Now he gives it to Roman. Now Roman's supposed to be a face, but he's smiling. Here's a match where it's like, who's the heel and who's the face in this match? Who? Because they all have a heel persona. Every one of them. All three of them. So I'm watching, and when he hits Punk, the fact that Heyman stayed in the ring, and he hits Punk with the chair, and I'm looking at Heyman. Now Heyman's too fat and slow and out of shape sliding out of the ring, and so he stays in the ring. And I'm saying, even if he gets knocked out, it'd be a weak thing if he knocks out Heyman or something, or then all of a sudden, Seth comes out of nowhere and roll him up and get it, So anyways, it was just like Heyman's still in the ring. I'm like, Heyman's going to do something. And I say he's going to turn on Roman. And then he stands there. Roman does the old school stand there, take forever. Then finally, and every time he hesitates, you already know. And Heyman drops down. Like you saw it coming. Same thing. Hits him low. He helped Seth. That match had the most drama in it of the night. But it all just fell so flat. And that ending didn't help anything. That's all right. That was the main event. I mean, it's not that the match itself was a bad match. It just wasn't. I didn't like the match. It was nothing. I've seen these motherfuckers so many times already. We kept constantly seeing these dudes, together, beefing, arguing, going back and forth. It was just like nothing. It was just so flat, man. It's almost even like watching a movie that's, you're into it, and and all of a sudden the ending just kills it, or there's just parts like after the midway part, the movie just stop making sense or something. It just this match was just it just was another match. This was something that could have been on Raw or SmackDown. Nothing really dramatic, nothing over the top. Honestly, man, they like a bunch of out of shape. Well, with the exception, Roman just doesn't have a lot of moves, but CM Punk looks so out of shape, man, and slow, and but the CM Punk fans are WWE fans in general. They're just robots, man. They're programmed to just, I have to cheer for this garbage. Because it was garbage. I just said, all right. And we'll see what night 2 brings. Okay, but before we get to night 2, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. The match was weak. The match was trash. Jay had a couple of good spots, like when Naomi went for the dive and she caught in the suplex position and turned it to the jackhammer. When she stood up with her and gave her like the electric chair, whatever the hell she did. But bottom line, this didn't feel like a grudge match at all. Here's a woman that was taken out, okay, story was, and WWE prides themselves on being sports entertainment, right? Stories. What happened? This woman took you out of commission for several months, took you out, and all you're concerned about is winning, smiling at the crowd, smiling, flexing your muscles and pointing at her. I mean, she got the win, good, that Jade won. But where was the grudge, man? Where was the real payback? Oh, but she paid her back when she came to the Elimination Chamber and eliminated her. Okay, but she didn't put Naomi out for 2-3 months like she did her. She just, slapped her around a little bit. It's like someone shoot you and you take a wiffle ball bat and come back and slap them with the bat a couple of times and put welts on their ass. But I mean, what did you really do to them? They shot you. You hit them with a wiffle ball bat. That's pretty much what this felt like. Like, this should have been a grudge match, man. That's what this should have been. You see what Thomas, Tony Storm, and Mariah May did. You saw the bloodbath of the match that they had. Yeah. You see the bad blood. You see how, and basically Tony Storm wasn't taken off, put on a shelf. She was stabbed in the back, turned on. She lost her title. She disappeared on her own. She came back. But when she came back and she worked her way into getting in the head of Mariah May. And bottom line is their feud, that story, it led into a bloodbath. It led into a tough matchup. You understand? This was a grudge match. What was the grudge in this? This was just another match that you could see on SmackDown. Like nothing really, bottom line. And the reason we can say that is because there's nothing special about their matches. You see, for the most part, they don't put on really good matches. They'll have something that might happen, but the matches that may be the best matches on Raw or SmackDown are not really matches that lead to feuds. It's just matches that, okay, somebody wrestled somebody, it was a good match. And they don't really put on good matches anymore. Everything is about moments. WWE don't care about wrestling. They don't care about the wrestling matches. They don't care about that shit. They care about moments. They care about, such and such sat down and took a picture of himself while he was mid-match. They care about that type of shit. They don't. It's not the match themselves. And the funny thing is, they got the nerve to talk about 5-star match. Yeah, let you tell it. It's a 5-star match, right? Okay. Weak match. Penta, he's in WWE. Roar. Right. So what does Penta do? What does Penta do? Matter of fact, let me skip Penta. What else? What else happened? What else happened? You know what? Let me go back and forth because I honestly was so bored with this shit. I might be okay. Let's go with Penta because I might be don't even remember what was on the first night and the second night. To be honest with you, I was so honestly I was so bored with that shit, man, that I started playing this shooting game with my son on the phone while that shit was on. And I'm looking up and I'm watching it and hearing it and in between times waiting for people to come and join the game and shit. It was just like, what? So let's look at Penta. Penta, rah, rah. Yeah, he's in WWE. Okay, I told you guys. Doesn't matter. They take guys that are hot in AEW. When TNA was the competition at one point, they took guys that were hot, they're top guys, and then they bring them in and do nothing with them. Now, let's look at this, for example, right? Samoa Joe, yeah, you know, they did decent work with him. Decent work. And he was basically known more for what he did in NXT. All that Joe's going to kill you, nah, that shit didn't apply to Raw or SmackDown. But anyways, so here's what happens, right? Samoa Penta comes in. I told you, you can look at how they look at a person just by the people that they feud with from the very beginning. He comes in there feuding with C-level mid-card jobbers, okay? And he's having like tough 50-50 matches with them. And I'm like, yeah, Penta's another one. Here's what they do. Luchas don't really do shit in professional wrestling in America. Not in WWE. Okay, Rey Mysterio, you know, Mil Mascaras, it's not like he did something unprecedented and he was some like trailblazer. No, he was just a guy. You didn't have but one Mil Mascaras back then. You didn't have a whole bunch of luchadors and all of that. So lucha type of wrestling don't work in America the way it does. The Latino people will watch it more than likely. You know, just overall, people are not into all this, the mask and the cut. It's just not an American thing. So now that they've acquired AAA, are we going to see Latino World Heavyweight Champions on Raw and SmackDown now? Are we? Or are we just going to have a bunch of guys that can do amazing flips and cartwheels and all types of dives over the top rope and wow, but basically bring them in and do what? So I'm pretty sure now what they'll have is their mid-card guys, their jobber guys going back and forth over the AAA. Somebody, you know, who has a name that is bigger because a low-level guy in WWE will go to AAA and be world champion. A low-level guy will go to TNA and be a world champion. You know, stuff like that, MLW. But what happens now is, okay, it's greed, though. You acquire AAA. Do something with it. Make it mean something. Don't just be greedy thinking you're going to block other companies from, you know. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They have them. They did nothing with Penta. Look at what happens to Penta. Let's mix it up, okay? Look at what happened on Raw last night. He loses to Dominic Mysterio. Once again, they bring him in and do what with him? No, we just got one of the Penta. Always liked him and Rey Fenix. They're not the same in the WWE. They don't use them the same. They don't even feel the same. They rest of this slow garbage pace and this whole. I don't understand what type of psychology they think this is on the wrestling fan watching this, because this shit is like they wrestle like old ass men now. They're in the ring. I mean, why are the matches so slow? This shit is garbage. They bring Rey Fenix in. Yay, I'm just happy to say I was at WrestleMania, I guess, basically. Because he loses to, you know, the guy pretending to be a lucha. Little baby Kurt Angle. Okay? It's like, you guys don't get it. You know, just because I was at WrestleMania. Right, and you lost your first WrestleMania match. Exactly. The fans wasn't even really getting into Rey Fenix. See, this is what people fail to realize. every company doesn't use you the same way. See, luchas in WWE is just for entertainment purposes and stereotypical storylines. When do they win major titles? When do they do anything where they are the top guys in the company? When? Last time they had a Latino wrestler that did something that stood out and was world champion, it was Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. Those are the last two. They never did nothing. Nothing for these guys. Pedro Morales, bona fide Intercontinental champion, contender, that's it. You go back and look at the history. So, big deal, you acquired AAA. Well, maybe, just having the WWE logo and they're going to have NXT guys going back and forth. See, this is what they're going to do. They already have worn out the whole welcome of the Forbidden Door concept. They're doing every week somebody's popping up on TNA from NXT. Every week somebody from TNA is popping up on NXT. Like, it's overkill, man. And it's no actual storylines. It's just wrestlers going back and forth. So all the holy shit moments are dead now. Because now it's not new anymore. It's the same shit over and over. So it's like, really? This is what you consider you stole the shit from Tony Khan, but then now this is what you consider Forbidden Door. Just sending wrestlers back and forth for no actual story. They're just going back and forth for what? Okay. And so Rey Fenix and Penta, of all people, you lose to Dominic Mysterio. So they decide, okay, let's give Dominic some gold. Now, the only thing about this match was, I think most people didn't see Dominic winning this match. And the funny thing is, they was cheering for Dominic. This is the same dude that at one point, they wouldn't even let him speak. They're cheering the bad guy in this one. And I'm looking at it like, okay, you WWE fans are weirdos, man. You don't know what the fuck you like. You don't know what you want. You don't know what the fuck you like, man. You honestly don't. You're cheering to somebody, booing them all in the same segment. You're singing their name, then you boo them. I really don't understand you guys because you don't understand yourself. You just don't. You're like a bunch of kids. You don't even know what you want. Like a kid in the room, and the kid will go take every toy out their toy chest. Which one do you want to play with? And they're so confused. And the more toys they have, the less they feel like they have, and they don't know what they want to play with. That's what you guys feel like, honestly. So Braun Breaker loses his match to some fucking luchas. Okay. And of all people, Dominic Mysterio. Okay. So he wins. All right. Nothing special about that match. It was, some of the matches had spots in them, but the matches overall was just like underwhelming to me. All right, so the thing about Braun was sucked for him is because his title reign was garbage. His title reign sucked. He did much of nothing in his title reign. Nothing. What memorable matches does he have? Who did he defeat? It's like in WWE, you just hold the title, that's it. But there's no great matches being put on. There's nothing you even remember about them holding the title. Except for them just walking around, holding the title around their waist, starting shoving matches with people and threatening, and then they have some weak-ass garbage match that just leads to nothing. So he had a terrible fucking title reign. Then he pops up last night on Raw, and he aligns himself with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. Bro, Seth Rollins is like 40, 41 years old, something like that. What are you going to do right now with Seth that you shouldn't have already done? You just now start to see value in Seth Rollins all of a sudden? And Braun comes in. He's not concerned about losing his title. They don't address nothing about his title. That's just, it's over. Now he's a puppet for Heyman and Seth Rollins. Okay, whatever. Nothing happened. All of what they thought was surprises. I noticed, they started last night's Raw, with Cena coming out, and then Orton comes out in the RKOs. And remember I said that, do you guys remember the idea I had about how Orton could have, where was The Rock through all of this shit? What, This is why John Cena at the post conference was saying that sounded like a clickbait question. Like, see, he tried to make it comedic with him trying to be serious and just avoiding questions because they know that the storyline was so stupid, man. Okay, no more involvement. You aligned yourself with The Rock. So because Cody didn't want to be his champion, what does this do for you now? And I told you before, Cena's response to Cody, why he did what he did, it just made no sense. It was like, man, you're just thinking of shit. But the story is so damn dumb and lame. And The Rock has no involvement. And then they send Travis Scott. I'm so sick of seeing this little 110-pound dude with the baggy ass fucking pants and walking with that belt on his shoulder. Like, Travis fucking Scott, a non-wrestling, weed-smoking, vaping, out-of-shape little scrawny guy comes in there. And where's The Rock? Where? Only good thing was Cena won. Because they need to reboot Cody. Cody, his character has become so damn boring and so watered down. Like honestly, man, I'm just like, all right, it's time to take the belt off Cody, man. Cody just it's the way they're using this guy, man. But the match with Cena and Cody was awful. The ending was extremely terrible, man. It was just like, how would Charles Barkley say it, right? That ending was terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. The match stunk. First of all, John Cena should be much stronger than Cody, which should have been his focus. Use his power, beat him down. And he basically just stuck to just clotheslines. Like, it's just, the same guy that Cody said can't wrestle was beating the shit out of him like he was supposed to. He got the belt. It was a terrible match. A terrible, terrible, terrible match. A terrible match. It was terrible. And I'm just like, okay. That ending was garbage. Like, and I'm sitting here like, you mean to tell me that Triple H and these guys in the back thinking like this is good shit that they're giving us? So I'm like, okay. I'm just watching it. It was garbage. It was garbage. The best match on night 2, I can say, and it was cool. It was cool. It wasn't a bad match. It was cool. It was the first match between Io Sky, Bianca, and Rhea. Now, as much as I love Bianca and Rhea, and I like Io as well, but I feel like it was good that Io retained because everybody was expecting either Bianca or Rhea to win. Okay. Why the fuck they're booing Bianca is beyond me, though. I just don't understand. Is it some racist shit going on? Or are these people just lost? Or is it a mixture of that and some other shit as well? Why the fuck are they booing Bianca? I don't get this shit. Why are they booing Bianca? I really don't get it. What was really weird? Oh, and let me also say, we called the Becky Lynch when Bayley was laying down. I'm like, here we go again. Here we go again. The second, look, what pay per view did they have when the Asian guy, I forget his name, he couldn't compete, and Triple H goes and tells this guy show speed to go to the ring. You send a non-wrestler to the ring to wrestle. Oh, whatever, man. And I'm like, okay. So I'm looking at the fact she can't compete. Now I'm thinking, like, who is going to take her place? I'm looking at who's on the card and who wasn't. And if you're going to replace Bayley, it has to be somebody, now, in my opinion, that is going to get a real rise of the crowd. Somebody with her type of credentials. And I'm looking at who they had. And I'm thinking, I hope it's not Jordan Grace or somebody from NXT because this is going to make little sense. And it's going to be I just couldn't see it. And I said, you know what? Becky Lynch. Because Becky Lynch has been missing for a while and I haven't heard anything, which is great. Because I don't like spoilers at all. I wouldn't want to know that she's coming back and then she comes. It kills the buzz. I'm gonna sit and play dumb. It's like knowing what you got for Christmas, then open your gift and go, oh, I can't believe it. So I just called it Becky Lynch. Becky comes out. Okay. So what I also felt like was, you know what? Becky's the one that turned on fucking attack Rhea Ripley. That's what I'm thinking, okay? And I said, you know what? And just through time and watch, okay, they won the titles. Now I didn't know they was gonna lose in the very next night, okay? Back, but I felt like it's gonna be that angle again with that we just had this same angle with Naomi and fucking Jade Cargill. The same, somebody got attacked. I didn't see who did it. Nobody saw it. Now all these fucking people backstage, but nobody ever see the attacks and shit. All right, whatever, man. Okay, so what happened? I believe that she's gonna turn on Ty or whatever the fuck her name is, her partner, and she did turn on her. And I'm like, now she's gonna turn on her partner. Whenever they lose them titles, however, I know it's going to be the very next night, but she's going to turn on her, and it's going to turn out that she's the one that attacked Bailey. Now, that's the other piece. Let's see if it don't happen. So, it was just very lame, man. And the attack was so stupid because this chick, Laura Valkyrie, whatever, she doesn't know how to. She's sitting there just looking like she's shocked more than anything. And I'm trying to understand. Why is she not fighting back? It's not like she's on the floor, like defenseless. She's sitting up, looking at her and looking around, and not defending herself. It was just it was so stupid, man. I'm really trying to understand how does everything just go this wrong, and nobody see what's happening. Are you guys not understand? What is happening? I'm looking at It was just so typical. Okay, the New Day, they won the tag titles. Oh, that match was terrible, man. And it was terrible. Oh, it was so terrible. And those guys, the Raiders, whatever they call themselves, man, they get no reaction from the fans at all. None. And then they come out looking like they just don't have it, man. They don't have it. Okay, New Day gets the titles, and they haul ass afterwards because they cheated to win. And okay, whatever. Kofi holding the guy's leg while he went for the okay, whatever. But another garbage ass match, and they come out last night, and Otis is just a gimmick now. He's been a gimmick. He's just nothing but a goof. Nobody takes him serious. He comes out, and then Rusev comes out all of a sudden. Who gives a fuck? Rusev is 39 now. They fucked him over when he first was there. He came to AEW, and I guess when he got there, it's like I said, look, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but nobody gives a fuck about Rusev anymore. Rusev Day was working with the fans, and then they wasn't doing anything with him, okay? And people seem to forget. They come back, and he's back. Yeah, why did he leave in the first place? And I guess Khan looked at him like, nah, this guy's in it. Whatever, it's always something that's going on where these guys are just not, what is Rusev going to do now that we even give a fuck about? What is he going to do? He's going to come back and start putting on 5-star matches all of a sudden. He's going to come back and he's in the best storyline, right? Who cares? Why did he even come out in this segment? For what reason did he even come out in this segment? And he attacks everybody. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad? Well, I really don't understand what the fuck the WWE is doing. I don't. I do not understand these fucking fans, the way they think. I can't relate to these guys, man. But okay. So what happens is he just comes back. The fans remember him. So yeah, okay, yay, Rusev is back. All right, big deal. Who gives a shit? Jey Uso comes out. Why didn't he just come out on SmackDown? Why didn't they just save him for SmackDown, man? So he could come out and all he did was come out and say he did it. I beat him. I did. He did. He basically had nothing to really talk about. They do this yeet shit. Jimmy comes out. There was a time when Sami Zayn was standing behind him, and I heard the fans go, "Oh, they thought Sami was going to turn on him," but it didn't happen. It was. I mean, it was just a waste of fucking time. They could have found something better to do with his have a celebration for him on SmackDown, but just something better, man. Um, all right, whatever. It was just another segment, but nothing special. Gunther comes out. Why did he choke out? Was it Pat McAfee he choked out? One of those dudes. For what? For what? For what? Ah, boy. I don't know, man. And if this is supposed to get Pat McAfee from the announce table, get him back in the ring for one more match or some goof, I don't know, man. The whole shit was just so stupid, man. Stephanie Vicaire coming out. I like her as a wrestler. I can't say her and Io had a bad match, but the match was ruined because Roxanne Perez comes out, Julia comes out, they get involved, then all of a sudden here comes Rhea Ripley come running out. And what's with her fucking left eye? Did she have a black eye or what happened? I mean, she had the makeup on one eye and the other one not. Like I honestly, I just don't understand. I don't understand what the fuck is up with the booking. I don't understand. I don't understand what the hell is going on in the WWE. Where, I mean, it's just bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. And I feel like this is just their way of thinking, man. This is the direction they're going. They think that, see, whenever all the companies had the most successful year in the company's history, this is all they focus on. It's just the money, the money, the money. They become very bougie, and they're just trying to. It's like they don't care about wrestling. They don't care about the wrestling fan. They care about making money, and as long as you're willing to give it, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. So they don't care about the criticism as long as the money's coming in. In fact, Triple H, remember what he said? He wanted to tell the fans, go fuck themselves. He said that the fans aren't real. Oh, they're only real when they agree with what you do. They're only real. The same fans paying money to come see your show. The same fans that pay for a subscription so they can watch your show, but they're not real. And yet you want to talk about how many, you got 1 million views. Okay, well, what if we say, oh, they're not real, they're just bots. They're not real. They're not real. Yeah, I know. They're not real when your ego, man, is so inflated. Your delusion is so apparent. And it's contagious. It was garbage, man. And the fact that EO comes out, I mean, Rhea still gets involved in the end. But no Bianca. I don't know what's going on. Stephanie Becky, but why did the match even happen? Because the match was ruined. Oh, but this way, neither one looks weak. Because now, if she loses to NXT, to EO, then she goes back to NXT looking like the weaker of the two. Really? Okay. So let me give you that. Now let me give you something else. Randy Orton comes out at WrestleMania. He wants a mystery opponent. And of all people, this goofball, Joe Hendry, comes out. Joe Hendry is a goofball. You really can call it a squash match, really. Look at what happened. And he gets his little moves off and does a little stupid turnaround and smile. And I'm just like, this is TNA's World Heavyweight Champion. This is TNA's World Heavyweight Champion. And Randy Orton played with him. Joe Hendry doesn't even look like a freaking wrestler, man. He looks like a talk show host. He's a goofball. I don't like anything about Joe Hendry. I don't believe in Joe Hendry. There's just nothing about this dude that's exciting. I just don't. When I watch him in TNA, it's the same thing. Like, this dude is your champion. Oh, TNA is doing way better with WWE than they were with AEW. Yeah. So you say. I saw Moose and Kenny Omega. Go back and look at that match. Now, look at Randy Orton, who's not even a champion, and destroyed Joe Hendry. This was again something you see on Raw, Smack. None of these matches felt special. They didn't feel like WrestleMania. They just did none of it. It just felt so flat. They're so concerned about panning the crowd, showing these fucking say. Every time I turn around, there's Ice Cube, son. There's a little skinny ass rapper. There's always these same people over and over. These different people that's actors and actresses on Netflix and all this got Netflix deals. So what, man? It's like this is all they're doing. It's like they're trying to appeal to rich people. That's what it's like. They're not. They don't care about the consumer, man. I'm telling you, they don't care about. See, I see it in their product, and the difference with a company that focuses on professional wrestling and has a balance of entertainment in it, they're not going to give you the bullshit that you're getting right now in WWE. See, a company that's focused on sports entertainment, wrestling comes second and third to the entertainment, and to try to appeal to different people from different sports and try to get people that normally won't watch wrestling to watch it. So you're not going to get what you're wanting to get. And also, let me say this. You diehard WWE fans are not qualified to talk about professional wrestling. You're not. You're only qualified, barely qualified, even to talk about the WWE because you're not wrestling fans. You're WWE fans. This is why you guys can appreciate when someone does something different. AEW has been on fucking fire lately. And this has been like some months now. They've been on fucking fire. And I saw the change. I made a video when I said, things that AEW really need to resort back to and things that they could completely just do different. Bring something to the table to different. And they've done that. And people who normally talk shit about AEW are like, hey, man, AEW stole the show this WrestleMania weekend and they've been hot. Yeah, but see, the problem with most WWE fans is though, even though they hate the current product that the WWE is giving, they don't know how to appreciate another company for giving something better. And they don't want to admit, nah, man, they're outshining WWE in terms of their product. It doesn't matter who the bigger company is, financially and all that bullshit. Come on, AEW's 5 fucking years old, man. But at the same time, look at what they've done. And that proved Eric Bischoff gave a little half-ass, congratulations to AEW because they surpassed Nitro, becoming the number one wrestling show and longest reigning wrestling show on TBS, whatever. So they surpassed them and Thunder, okay? And this dude is a part of MLW. You're part of a company that can't even fucking lace AEW shoes. In fact, MLW doesn't even get the same publicity that TNA gets. So how the fuck are you talking shit about AEW? And you're proud of what they're doing in MLW right now. And I like MLW as a company. I'm not bashing them I'm not going to bash them because of Eric Bischoff or whatever. What I'm saying, though, no. I watch MLW, and MLW has a bunch of jobbers over there. Matt Riddle's a champion. I watched Battle Rat 7, I think it was, when he retained his title in that Battle Royal. It came out of him and RVD, whatever. But it was a cool show. It was, just something to watch. But it didn't feel special. Okay. That being said, though, this show was both shows. It was an epic fail, man. I don't care about the sellout crowd shit. The in-ring product, the point of capturing the attention and delivering, people will biasly say some shit because it's WWE. They don't want to admit the truth, but both nights stunk. Both nights stunk. And let's be real. If you guys think that they see much in Penta, like I told you, like Samoa Joe said the same shit, and other wrestlers before Samoa Joe, WWE will take the top stars from somewhere else, and they will take them and stick them where they want, but they're not going to make them the top guys of the company. And if they do, it's going to be a complete reboot of that person. And Penta has yet to beat anybody worth the shit in WWE. He already lost to Dominic Mysterio. That's how much they think of Penta. And Phoenix, Ray Phoenix loses his debut at WrestleMania. Yeah. Big deal. So they can have Keith Lee back. They can, whoever the fuck goes running back to, fine. Let them, it doesn't matter. This product just sucks right now, man. It really does. If I think of some other things to bring up, to bring awareness to, I will. But I mean, this stuff is hard to watch, man. It's hard to watch. But anyways, this is all I got for you guys right now. I'll catch you guys on the next video.